Not too long ago, we had a really good opportunity with our friends at Dirty Civilian and some others got to hook us up with a Netflix actor, Gabriel Basso from the TV show Night Agent.
It takes a certain kind of person to succeed as a night agent. What's it gonna be?
So, day 2, part 2.
You can tell because I've changed.
Me too.
And I'm wearing a watch now.
You got a great shirt on, I like that.
Yeah,
Where'd you
it's
get that?
this company that also produces these belts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of those.
It's a Polish pronunciation, that's how you know. They're cultured.
Very cultured.
It's really cool.
So, by the way, if you ever look up Wojtek BAER,
Yeah.
look up the documentaries on him.
Oh yeah, the little
dude.
circus bear that they
Yeah.
trained to like kill communists?
Yes, they killed Nazis with it and
yeah,
like
dude.
ate cigarettes and drank beer and like took ammo to artillery guys.
Or yeah, Nazis would be fascists, huh?
Yeah, fascism. So,
Got it.
so anyway, so today we're gonna go ahead.
Fascist.
We're gonna go ahead and work on a couple things. And one thing we talked about was some of the things that we see, right? And there's a difference in, you know, obviously it's a movie, right? It's a TV show, so they need to do certain things.
Yeah.
But like, we're gonna get down behind cover a little bit, talk about like a low wall, right? Just kind of kneeling and stuff like that. Then we're gonna talk about around corners, right? You know, what we want to see happen, kind of as like the viewer, the fan, you know what I mean? And then what kind of actually happens or how that goes. But we'll cover a few things. So we'll talk about like approaching a corner and kind of like pieing it off a little bit, and then also getting down behind cover. So we're gonna break those two things down today. How's that sound to you, bud?
Sick.
Sick. Well, cool. Well, load up our mags and
Now for my Nephilim proportions, how high does the low cover have to be?
2.5 feet.
2.5 feet? Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be Spider-Man in it.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah, it's fine
You
for
can
me.
handle that.
You know, I can handle the, you know what I mean?
The Hobbit
lower
build?
walls. Yeah. I get all the time, is that Chris Benoit? You know, the wrestler, the Canadian crippler?
No.
Oh, dude. Yeah, him, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Wayne from Letterkenny's brother. I get that a lot. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Battle, yeah, Garantha. That's his thing. He likes
Battle
that one.
Troll, dude.
Battle
That's a good
Troll.
one.
I'm like, I'll take it, I guess.
Gimli?
That. Don't edit that part out. I don't want people saying that
You'll
shit.
have to toss me.
Holster. There you go. So, hammer down. They know it's safe. Just a good way to carry it when it's clear. Because if the hammer's down,
When
the
it's
gun
clear.
can't go off. Yeah, when
Okay.
it's clear. When it's loaded, the hammer will always be back. If it's not, boom, it's going to go off.
Okay.
So we just keep the hammers down in the holster. So one thing we see a lot in movies is people using cover. You know what I mean? Like they got cover, they're doing this and anything else. Dude, it drives me nuts sometimes watching guys like get down behind cover and kind of like use that. You know what I mean? So let's just go over real quick, like some of the things that we teach and we look for and kind of like to get your perspective on why, you know, it might turn out differently in a show. Right?
I was trained by Uncharted and Gears of War. Cover-based shooters, man.
That's such a good game, isn't it? Gears of
great
War. Dude,
Blind firing over
yeah,
there.
Space Marine 2, really good, by the way.
I've not played it yet.
Ooh, it's a good one. So we're gonna cover this real quick. So we're just gonna work two different positions here, really. So we'll talk about like kneeling, right, to the left and right, and then kind of top middle, okay? So one thing to remember is anytime we do this is muzzle, sights, eyes. And for me, like, I know you people at home too, you probably see this. Guys get down and they're in like a weird position or they're like in their sights the whole time. And, you know, that kind of eats up like people like me or other, you know, military law enforcement, people who are just, you know, fans of this genre and kind of interested in it, tend to get really opinionated about how things are done. You know what I mean? Is that the polite way to put it?
I guess so, yeah, that's a
Yeah, you
political
know.
way to put it.
Fair enough.
Opinionated.
So first let's talk about kneeling, right?
I'm an actor, dude.
You're a professional liar, right?
I'm a professional kneeler.
There you go. So, getting down here. So, one, these rocks are going to hurt your sensitive little knees, but you'll be
Yeah.
all right. So, getting down, we see this a lot. We know that anytime you get down behind cover, like cover stops bullets. You know what I mean? That's why you're behind it. But people get down, the one thing you got to think about is you got to get into position quickly and out of position quickly. And you've probably seen this with other instructors too, but the big thing is like, I want to be in a good, stable position, but I don't want to be overexposed beyond it. You know what I mean? Like I want to use this to my advantage, right? So some of the stuff that you guys probably see at home is guys get into these positions and they get down, right? They take their knee and then they're leaning out real hard like this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a stable position. You know what I mean? Like if I'm leaning out and someone comes in and whether they bump me or, there's other people around me or I'm just off balance, that's not a good position to shoot from, So we want to be stable first of all. So accuracy, stability, repeatability.
So when you're training this firing from cover, are you training, this is a controlled environment. So in your head, are you training for an uncontrolled environment?
Well, we train skills, right?
Okay.
You got to think like skill, application, evaluation. This is the gym. You know what I mean? Like the real shit happens out there. It's kind of like football players, they work out in the gym and they do stuff, but it's also the practice field too, which kind of sucks. But there's nothing that's actually happened coming back at you, but we're training as much as we can to take this position and then replicate it out there.
Okay, so when you're saying like, oh, what if a guy bumps me or, if I'm on unstable terrain or whatever, like here you can fire from leaning out like that and be fine because no one's around you and pushing you. But in your head, you're like, I can't be here. Do you need the objectivity basically from the top down objective view of yourself to be like, I wouldn't be good here. I need to adjust my position. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And some guys don't do that. You know, like there's a lot of stuff out there on this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, does that really work?
Yeah.
Or is that a rangeism? Did that sound good on paper or talking about it in the office or with your buddies? And then you come out here and it's like, maybe it doesn't translate off of here as well as we think. Or maybe we just overthought it. There's a lot of that too. You know what I mean?
Because there is like the acting side of it, at least set is to some extent a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And there's the repeatability factor of you go back and you watch playback on something and you're like, that didn't look good. Let me do that again. But here, I feel like it's, that's sort of the middle ground is you have to make it look good on camera. And that's when they might say, oh, dude, this doesn't look good, what you're doing here.
Yes.
And then it's the balancing reality with the fact that people want to watch a movie.
Yeah, dude, it's still a movie.
Yeah, it's not a documentary.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. It's not a documentary. So big thing to think about when we do this, I always like to have my outside leg up, right? Because I want to get into position quickly and I want to get out of position. So if I came up here and, and I want to get down behind this cover.
Outside leg meaning the leg that's closest to?
Yep, the outside of my cover. Yep, so as I come up, I can use that as my post foot and drop right down into it. And now I can stay head up, eyes up, gun up a little bit better, right?
Okay.
So this is a nice, comfortable position to be in. And if I need to get lower, I simply just push my hips back and I can kind of settle down into it, right? But the big thing is my head's up, my eyes up, and my gun's up. Where we see problems is when people start leaning forward real far like this, it gets a little unstable, or this knee goes down and then they start leaning out here and start canting the gun. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that's not needed. And again, as it appears I come down, I'm gonna keep my gun down until I see what I need to see, and then I bring it up, and then I can engage my target, and then bring it back down a little bit again to see everything.
Okay.
And we always see these dudes too, and we'll go over this later, but it's like the guys come in, it's like they're just looking through their sights the whole time, and they like get down like this.
Yeah. Something that's tough about that too, I'm sure it does play into the range side of it for you guys, the training side. But what's going to happen.
Yes.
And it's almost, you find yourself, especially when you've done it a few times, you become anticipatory and you like, especially in stunt fights or anything, you start anticipating a shot that is coming and you're trying to make it look like, for the audience, it's the first time they've seen it. So this, I think maybe something living in your sights is like, oh, I know where that guy's going to be.
Okay.
Like I'm looking here because I know I'm supposed to look there and I'm not worried about any of the other stuff because I read the script.
I hadn't thought about that. That makes
what
sense.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
so they're approaching it like, oh, the bad guy's coming from there.
Yeah. They're not reacting to it happening. They know it's there, so they're kind of going in and prep for it.
Yeah, and you got to make it look like it's the first time you've seen it. And it's this weird balance of like I was saying, the objectivity, the awareness of this looks like you've done it 100 times, which you have in your character has in training, but they don't know. It's just a weird, like, there are layers.
That makes sense.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But
No, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't thought about it like that.
actors' jobs are hard, man.
Oh, so hard. You got to sit there all day.
Dude.
And you got to say stuff.
When
and your trailers,
when
that's
they
got to be
mess up
terrible.
my
You gotta,
coffee order,
oh my God.
you should see me, dude.
Yeah, I felt bad when I messed up your coffee order here at the house,
Look.
you know?
Let's just move on. Let's move on.
All right, so we'll
I
get in
moved
here.
on from that.
Let's cover a couple other little things too, right? So like I said, I'm a big fan of like just having that knee up and be able to drop right down into it and do what I need to do. The other part is if I need to push off of this and get back, I can push off that leg and go where I need to go to. But having this leg up keeps me mobile and keeps me quick, right? I don't
And
have
when
to
you were
take that
saying
extra
muzzle
step.
sights eyes, is that approaching cover? Like where is that?
I'll cover that in a
ordered?
minute.
Oh, okay.
So, but some of the other stuff, getting ahead of shit, Gabe.
Snapped at me, dude. Snapped.
So as we do that, the other thing we'll see too, we'll see this, and we'll see these guys that like do this extra like posing kind of stuff.
Dude, that's
It looks sick, right?
throw up a quick double by, dude.
Oh my God.
That's sick.
The Arnie of the Lee Haney right here, you know? So, Franco Colombo. So they do this extra balancing stuff, and to me it's not needed. You know what I mean? Besides too, if someone else is in here, I don't want to put this leg out. What if, you know what I mean? Like I'm just getting in people's way.
But now I
don't know,
have a
man.
nice leg to look at.
Yeah, you do. Nice quad going out.
I don't know, dude.
Nice
I'm
lines.
I'm thinking that has some moral.
It's a power pose.
That is.
Yeah.
Like you're a
Let me
bad
establish
guy.
my dominance over this barrel right now.
You're a bad guy looking back at this guy pokes out and does one of these. I mean, that's dude.
terrifying.
I would.
I'm not gonna mess with that dude.
I might have to incorporate that.
There you go. Season 3 right
of the
there.
Night Agent,
Season
dude.
3. So
Okay.
So let's do that. Go ahead, just get down in position, have that leg up, and all I want you to do is kind of walk in here, have your gun up, walk in, set that post foot up right off the edge of your cover, and just drop straight down so you can keep your head up, eyes up, and gun up.
Okay. So I'm here. Here?
Yeah, fair enough, man. So big thing with that is too, a lot of guys want to get lower. What do they naturally do? They tend to lean forward some, right? And they try and crunch their head down
to get
like
low.
this.
Okay.
It's kind of the opposite, right? So
you
go
sit
forward a
back.
little bit. You sit, you see that? Drive the knee forward, drop your head, get lower. There you go. It's weird, isn't it?
Feels
so
weird.
just sit your hips back a little bit and sit your ass on the other foot. And then now you're more head up, right?
Yeah.
We change levels at the hips. It's a lot like fighting and boxing. Like you change levels by dropping the hips down to get up underneath, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. I'm just going to push my hips back. That's all that is.
Okay.
The more we can maintain that upright posture, the better we're going to shoot. Does that make sense? Because that replicates how we shoot normal,
Yeah.
standing up.
Okay. So in the gym analogy, you're basically firing, you're lifting from a more stable position. You're not doing like the Bosu ball overhead press.
Yeah, because when we go up on that toe, it's all wobbly anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just put your heel down, have your whole foot on the ground as best as you can,
And then just
and that
sit
way you're going to
back.
be more stable.
Okay.
More points of contact with the ground.
Okay.
But
That makes sense.
fair enough, man. So let's do that real quick. We'll just work a couple. And let me show you the left side first, and we'll go left to right and just kind of practice that.
Okay. And last question.
Yeah.
As you approach, are you, I get that this is a training thing, but like, are you starting from behind cover and then moving out? Or are you sort of approaching like here where you're going to stage yourself? You know what I'm saying?
So I hate saying this, but if you're looking at it from like, hey, this was kind of like a real, gunfighter had to do something.
Yeah.
Let's say this is like a low wall that you have. Well, I've got to approach it, right?
Yeah.
I've got to get there, and I'm probably going to be out in the open a little bit to get there. At that point, it's speed, man.
So get there fast.
Get to your position so you can use that to your advantage. Because that's just time that you're exposed or not exposed. I mean, would you try and get a little bit low as you run? Maybe as you come in.
Yeah.
Like speed is really important at this part. Some guys you'll get and they'll be like, oh, I got to be back here. You're going to like duck walk and get as low as you can. No, man, hurry your happy ass up, get there, and then drop down to that position.
Okay.
Because that's the speed is security aspect. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That, in this instance, yes. It
Yeah.
makes-
So, I mean, not everything is 3 barrels lined up on a range, and things move and things change. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff you got to think about, but generally speaking, that's probably pretty.
Is that a
Good
unit
guys
of
to go by.
measurement in the military when you're looking at cover? Is that like how many barrels is that? How many barrels worth?
It might be after this video.
That's like 2 barrels worth of cover right there.
So, if we go to the left, does anything change?
I'm assuming no.
No. So a lot of people will say, well, I'm going to switch my gun to my left hand and shoot like this, right? How good are you shooting that gun with your left hand?
I've never tried. Well, no, that's wrong. I've practiced in dry fire switching, like you were having me do from the first day.
Yep.
But I remember the only time that that's really applicable is with the rifle, you were saying. Like, it's more complicated. It's easier with a handgun to do this than it is with a rifle.
Yes.
And I remember you saying, don't worry about it with the handgun.
With a rifle, there's probably like a time to switch shoulders, but it's pretty small. You know what I mean? It's a pretty narrow thing you're gonna do. I don't like switching hands hardly at all. There's only a few rare instances what I would, and that would only be with a rifle. But when you see guys like switch look at these guys. This one's a little bigger. So
that's fair. I wasn't gonna say anything, but
thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I did. Took notes.
So as we do this, I don't need to switch with the left. And what I'll always ask is switch the gun to my left is because what I'll ask people is, can you shoot, say, an L pres? You know, the same time with your left hand as you can with your right hand. There ain't too many people that can do it. So like, I want to be the best shooter I can be, and that's gonna be shooting normal.
Okay.
The other part is this gun, it moves, right? It's framed in the middle of your head. So I don't care if I'm leaned over here, leaned over here. It's almost the same amount of exposure or cover or whatever, you know, those things that we think about and why we do it. So with a pistol, nah, man, don't switch hands. Like, the only time to switch hands with a pistol is like, I'm trying to train. You know, it's a training thing where I want to put it in my left hand, so it's called bilateral transfer, and it helps us out. Okay. It's a training tool.
Or your right hand gets injured.
There you go.
And you don't have an option.
There you go, right?
Okay.
Injured shooter type stuff, yeah. Fair enough, man. So
that makes sense.
For the left, there's really no difference. It's just, I'm going to hold it out there, do the same. If I need to, I'll kind of like roll over a little bit just to get out some more, but that's all it is.
Okay.
So with this, one thing we see too is guys say, well, if I have to go from one side of cover to the other and I'm kneeling, like say there's like Jersey barriers, you know what I mean? Or something like that. It's a vehicle.
A Jersey barrier?
Jersey barrier, like those little small T-walls on like highways. They're concrete.
Oh, how many barrels worth is it?
That's 1 barrel high.
Okay.
By about 4 to 5 wide.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense now.
You did a measurement. So with that, guys will say like, well, how do I kind of stay low? All right, fair enough, man. If you do, and kind of imagine this is like a vehicle, I want to go from one part to the other. We know there's no cover above the doors, you know what I mean? And really in the middle of the car either. Yeah. But I need to stay low. We'll just put our hand down and move over. And
I've heard it's engine, like behind the engine block is the safest sort of place to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate on this kind of stuff, but like engine block and then the wheel wells, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of it, man.
So your basic, as you're running through it, whatever the most things you can put between you and the guy shooting at you are, the better?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, great.
Generally speaking.
That makes sense as well.
So if I'm here and I say I want to go to the right side, right, and go up, easy thing to do. A lot of guys will try and stay low and like duck walk over. Nah, man, just put your hand down and kind of Spider-Man crawl. But we're going to keep that gun up in front of us, kind of at that high ready so it's staying down range. And if I put my hand down, come down over here, and then just settle and get right back into that same position, right? But that'll kind of help us.
What makes that a
low.
Spider-Man crawl? Is that the
hand going down on the ground?
Did you put it down like Spider-Man?
I did that.
I didn't see.
Yeah, I shot the webs out.
Okay, great.
So
that was webbing?
Yeah, Tom Holland taught me that actually.
Did he?
Is that his name?
The
British Spider-Man?
Peter Parker, dude.
What's the actor's name?
There's no such thing as a British Spider-Man. They don't have Spider-Man.
You tell Tom that. Tom Holland that.
There's no such thing.
Tell Zendaya that.
All I know is Peter Parker is an American hero.
True. You're right.
The British can't just come in and claim British Spider-Man, dude.
Last time they did that, we had a little bit of a war.
We had a war over that, dude.
We did. A 3-cent tax on tea.
Now,
3%.
Is the Union Jack Spider-Man colored? That's white, red, and blue, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but so is ours. Mm-hmm. Wow. I don't know, man. All I know is Peter Parker, America. The best.
Get down in position and do this.
So do that move?
Yeah, just get down in this position. All I want you to do is just kind of move over a little bit, right?
Okay. So I'm here, and then switch to the left.
Yeah, keep that gun high.
Well, up above?
No, just keep the gun up in front of your eye line-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So I do, left.
There you go, right?
That felt...
That's all that is.
Strange.
It looks strange.
Did feel pretty strange. I'm not Spider-Man. I'm the night agent. That's why.
Night agent needs some practice.
Yeah, I'm not the...
So you can just do that and go back a couple times, but just get down behind position. You know what I mean?
Okay. So stay up here. Plant.
Yeah, hand down, just switch over, and just get back in position. And that's all it is.
And when you're crossing now, let's say I'm right-handed, I'm going from this way. Would I just, it's as easy as this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd stay there. Okay.
And that's it. And the only reason we're doing that, you know, especially for like stuff that we see on TV and everything, you get people that are like, oh, you're not standing up and moving over and then dropping back down. You know what I mean? It's just utilizing like, hey man, I need to generally stay below this if I want to change positions. So if I do, the easiest thing to do is just put my hand down, switch my feet over, and go to the other side.
Now, and these are exceptions, obviously, but like you were saying, the speed wins on the approach to the cover, because that's your priority. At what point do things, depending on, I remember when we were doing CQB stuff and you were saying like, in a hostage situation, the priority is the hostage.
Yeah.
And at some point you said if there's you like sort of abandon what you're doing, the sector closures, and you just go for the thing when shit hits the fan, you just go there and
that driving
your priority
force, right?
becomes that.
Yeah. If you have a driving force, what they say.
So what's the driving force of like cover-based? At some point you just say, screw it. And that can vary, that's what I'm asking. But like in the show, let's say I'm acting in a thing. And there's something that pulls me out of cover. Is that objective dependent? Like if it's save this person and I'm watching them, I'm behind cover, and my priorities to get to them and they start moving, is it like move out of cover and save them? Or can, you can't save them if you're dead, so what's the...
Well, kind of both, I guess, especially you can't help somebody if you're dead.
Yeah.
But like, if you're, I'm thinking of some like the role in the show, right? It's, all right, so here's a good thing that law enforcement says. Law enforcement says when something happens, we have to stop the killing, right? That's what a driving force is. Okay. It's like I have to stop the killing and I have to get there and do it. So I might blow some things off because I have something that tells me it's over there. So I got to get there as fast as possible, right? Think of that like hostage rescue or an active shooter. Now, in something like that, if I kind of understand you right, like I'm going to use all my tools available to me to solve the problem. All you're doing is solving one problem at a time until you got problems to solve. So like, I'm not just going to stay here the whole time. I'm always trying to get a better position and solve that problem. And in the military, we call that maneuver, right? Like I have to maneuver and the enemy and do all this stuff.
In real life, I think they call it maneuvering.
Yeah. Well, the military is real life, So
civilian side, we have that word too.
Do you? I think we spell it different. But as we do that, I want to maneuver and I want to get to where I need to be and and solve that problem. So if I see an opportunity to move out and get a better position, I'm going to do that, right? Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, it does. I just, in the active shooter situation, like stop this guy, stop what you're doing in the procedural, like this is what we're supposed to do.
Yes. And
stop this thing. That's the driving force you were saying?
Kinda, yeah. So driving force means I'm going to accept a little more risk because I have to stop this from happening, right? But I don't want to go get myself killed and just walk into something.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to accept more risk, but I have to go right to that threat. So basically the other option is deliberate. Deliberate means I'm going to take my time, clear one room at a time, do this stuff. Whether you do that fast or slow, that's kind of dependent and arguable. But whether I do this, I have to be one room at a time. Let's say if you have a building and this is a hallway, at the very end of the building, you hear gunshots. That's a driving force that says, hey man, I got to get there and go stop that from happening from a law enforcement perspective.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, all this stuff ahead of time, I'm going to run and check it real quick, but I've got to get there. Does that make sense?
You're not as thorough.
Yes.
Okay.
Think of it like a search versus like, if I don't have that, then I have to search and find things. And maybe that speed changes a little bit depending on, experience and how good they are at it. Okay. But I might take a little bit more time, clear each room because I don't know where it's at. But as soon as I know, like, dude, that is a driving force, it's time to go. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like you were saying, stay low and, guys say duck walk to the thing. And that's all, like you're saying, it's all well and good in practice or in theory, but then it's like, hey, you're being shot at, like, go ahead and fucking duck walk. It's like, get to cover now fast. And at what point are these rules, like, sort of
tossed out the window?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on you, too. Like, I know guys that they don't do shit a certain way because their skill set is so high.
Yeah.
They're like, screw that, I'm going in right now.
They know enough to
I'm
get
going
rid
hard
of
and I'm going fast. Because they can pull that off. Like, these guys are incredible.
Yeah.
Then you got other guys that have been trained once at the academy or once, they've had 2 days on it. They're not comfortable with it. Well, if they do that, there's the potential for them causing more harm than good. You know what I mean? And it's like they need to take it a little bit differently. And that's a training issue, and I get that, right? They need more time behind, they need to get better.
Yeah.
But it's skill set dependent a little bit.
Okay.
So
skill set dependent.
There you go. So, the night agent, bro, he was just...
Dude, I've already killed everyone.
Just by
I've
looking at them.
already stopped.
They saw your Spider-Man crawl. They were like,
Criminals,
I
dude.
quit. I'm out.
No, the night agent crawl. That first one was a night agent crawl, and then you were.
And that's just something that's
Forcing
like a
me.
little like, hey man, if you want to stay low to get over to a new position, just put your hand down and stay low.
Okay.
It's one of those things. Cool.
Now, what's the one-handed cartwheel pick up the rifle from the Matrix in the court in the lobby scene? When
Oh,
he-
the SWAT-tastic?
yeah. What is that? A night agent applicable skill I should develop?
It depends on if he was a SWAT team member or not.
Okay.
In a major metropolitan SWAT team. Mainly
Okay.
New York, Chicago, LA. They teach that in their course.
Great. I'll work on that at home.
Yeah, I can hook up you the guy. He can take you through that.
Great.
It's
Cartwheel
kind
guy.
of classified, but you know.
Cartwheel guy.
So let's just shoot that real quick. Let's get a couple rounds off on that. I'll demonstrate it first. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna drop down in position, right steel over here. I'm gonna hit with 2 rounds. And I'm just gonna work my over to the left, hit this one with 2 rounds, and be good. And then the next time we'll just go back the opposite way. So we'll do that a few times and just kind of practice it, right?
Okay.
Get in that position and seeing that difference of the head up, eyes up, everything else.
Okay.
Then after that, we'll just kind of cover over the top right here.
Dude, that left hand, that left leg. I have bad hips, dude.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, and the hips don't lie.
I was about to say, Shakira, those hips don't lie, bud.
I prefer hips don't act.
Ooh, they're gonna love your fancy gun. Thing's sick. All right, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start here, pistol out, generally keeping the pistol, you know, that upper chest level, almost eye line, just kind of keeping it here. We don't need to do anything crazy where we're, you know, pinning the gun up here or keeping it too low. Just generally keep it in the upper chest area, eye line, right as we move, and you're good to go. You can drive it out from there. So as I come up, I'm just gonna move up to my position, come in, drop down, good. Put the gun on safe, immediately move over, drop back down into position, and take 2 shots over here, right? Nice and easy, put the gun back on safe, and I'll just stand up and I'll holster up, right? So I like putting the gun on safe in between because it's
in
just
case.
habit, right? It's not gonna cost me any time, it's just a quick little thumb press. So yeah, other than that, man, that's pretty much it, bud.
Let's do it.
Do it, you're gonna look so good. All right, go ahead, load and make ready.
Well, you're standing behind me, so
That's true.
I don't
Judging,
I don't want to hear that.
you look so good.
Okay. So as you approach, you're on safe as well, right?
Yep.
Same.
Once I drop into position,
Take it
if
off.
if I'm presenting the gun out to the target, that's when I put it on fire.
So that's like you were saying yesterday in part 1,
Part 1.
with the draw. As you bring it up, you flick it off.
Yep.
Safe. Okay.
As I present the gun, I put it on fire.
Okay. So you'd be here.
Yeah, just general.
Okay. And then
Go ahead.
whenever.
On you.
Okay. Whoa, I lost my sight again.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So same thing. I'm just going to go to the left and then to the right. Right. Stand by. Go. Back on safe and holster. Cool.
Sick. Okay.
Cool. On you.
Okay. I'm still on. It's way. I was still on safe, but I liked going that way better.
It's easier with the gun out. You can reach across versus
Yeah.
bringing the gun behind you. Yeah.
That felt way better than
Yeah.
the other.
I mean, you go both ways pretty well, but
Not me. I don't go
that-
both ways.
the hell you
What are you
got?
talking about, Drew?
So on this side, knee up, remember? That outside knee up.
What did I do?
So came in, dropped down here, right? Which is, so I'll kind of tell you the argument, like,
No, Drew, I didn't do it right. Let's do it
no, I'm
again.
going to tell them for this. I want them
Oh,
to
okay.
understand something. So like people will say, you know, if your outside knee is up, you know, here, and you get shot, you'll fall this way. And if your outside knee is down, you're more unstable, and you get shot, you'll fall that way. Like, whatever, man. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
that sounds like some people overthinking it a little bit. To me, it's really just about
Stable.
mobility and stability. Like
Okay.
to me, that's way more important. It's being able to push off that leg, drop down faster. It's just saving us time and making us more mobile, right,
Okay.
and stable. So when you hear some of those arguments, you're like, yeah, it sounds maybe, like, I don't know, man. Like you don't know what happens. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a range thing. We're overthinking shit. kinda
Yeah,
like we
because
talked
you have
about
time
before.
to overthink it.
Yes, people sitting around. So I'm more concerned about just getting into and out of position.
It was written for me. I know what's going to happen. I might as well walk to cover.
There you go. Do
They
it.
can't shoot me.
I am invincible.
I've read the script.
All right, let me get my ear pro in real quick.
Plot armor.
Yeah, I know I live. Why is this even?
Spoiler, season 2.
Why is this even a problem?
Maybe you'll die in season 8, you know? And they'll get a new night agent.
I don't know, man.
Clone.
I feel like I should die pretty soon. You know?
Season 8?
Not 8. That's too many. Breaking Bad went 5 seasons.
Did it?
As long as there's an arc. I just don't like it when it's like in this season.
Oh.
You know,
It's
in
going
this
past
season, because then you get into the Marvel problem where it's like the world is always, they have to one up the stakes.
Yeah.
It's like just one up it once, build to that thing, and then have that consequence be the consequence. Because Peter's not aware he's the main character of the show, you know?
Fair enough.
He shouldn't be, like, there shouldn't be no consequences for Peter, but whatever. Above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, left
Yeah.
foot up.
Drop in on the left.
Okay.
On you.
So I shot too fast the first time before I had my,
Sight fully on there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Should I
fair
try it again?
Yeah, do it again.
Okay.
2 good hits, each steal. Do over. Take 2. Take 2, actor
keep
man.
it, dude.
You're
That's
doing
the benefit.
great. Doing great.
The left leg up.
At least you didn't trip. I was like, oh God.
No, I was like, as I started going down, I was like, nope. Left knee. Left leg up.
On you.
What is happening there? Am
You're
I
not
just
hitting
rushing
the
it?
target.
Huh?
You're not hitting the target.
Why is that though?
Your sight's not on the target.
Is that the target's problem though, or is that my problem?
Well, in California, it'd be the target's problem. Here in Tennessee,
Okay, I'll
it's
be
your
in my
problem.
trailer.
All right.
You guys
It's right over there.
Tell that
The,
target to get his shit together. I'm sick of it, dude. He needs to be in character. He dies. He needs to know he dies. Tell him. I'll be in my trailer. Get me a coffee, Drew.
These.
Okay, here we go.
And he's back.
That was a quick trailer trip.
All right, on you. Good. Good. Fair enough, man. Looked pretty good. You did great.
I'm out of here. See you, Drew. Good day, man.
Bye.
Edit
I'll
that
send you
together.
an invoice. So, good. So next thing we'll do, we'll just kind of talk about this top middle, right? Like coming up over the top of cover. And by the way, get me a coffee, bitch. You get your own damn coffee. I ain't getting you shit.
No. I didn't say get me. Dude, you didn't.
He said,
You misheard that. Are those on?
Yeah. On
No,
high.
I said I'm getting a coffee.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, dude.
Fair
Come
enough.
on.
So let's talk about like this right here. Oh, I missed it.
That was pretty cool.
That was not cool.
He was still hung up on the coffee thing.
I know. I am.
Family.
Shame, like Cersei Lannister. Shame. Shame. So
Just because I'm here doesn't mean you have to drop like show references, you know?
you did that on the show, didn't
Not
you?
everything has to be an
Did
actor.
you do that on season 2 where you
It
ejected
is
it
in
and caught
season
it?
2, yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
I'll show you after we wrap
Okay.
this up.
So now we'll just talk about like kind of like coming over the top of cover. This is where that muzzle sight size really comes into play.
Okay.
We see a lot of times people, it's not whack-a-mole, right? Like people just pop up like a groundhog, you know what I mean? And look around, then they bring the gun up. The simple thing is just lead with the muzzle, then the sights, and then the eyes behind it. And the only reason is if we do that, my gun is prepped ready to go. So once I
Okay.
see what I need to see, I can shoot. I don't then have to bring the gun up. Does that make sense?
That does.
So you're just basically leading with the gun. Now, I'm not looking through my sights the whole time, but once I see what I need to see, then I put my sights on.
But it's in the space for convenience.
Yeah, it's in this general area. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So the other part is, we talked about mobility, right? Depending on how high or low, whatever it is you're trying to shoot over, mobility is important. So if I can stay on 2 feet, I'm going to do that. If I can't, I need to get lower, then I'll go to 1 knee. If I need to get lower than that, then I can go down to 2 knees. You know what I mean? Or just depending on your body type.
Okay.
So ideally, if I was here, right, I would come down to 2, squat like this, and then I would just present up, muzzle, sights, eyes, see what I need to see, then I would shoot it, and then just come back down the same way. Or the other option is just go to a knee like this. That's completely fine, right? Same thing, I present muzzle, sights, eyes as it comes up, see what I need to see, then engage it, and then come back down.
Now, in 5th group, were there guys that surprised you with their mobility?
Yeah, dude.
Do you ever have that moment where
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of dudes, bigger guys, that just hauled off.
Nice.
Takes all kinds. What are you getting
Damn,
at here? I know you're getting at something.
No. I'm just wondering if like someone ever surprised you, because I have had that with stunt people, like seeing them like bigger dudes, the way
yeah.
they move, and it's crazy. And I was wondering if you ever had a moment where you guys were like on the range and they did something that you were just like,
Yeah,
you were hiding that?
There's a few dudes like that, yeah. Like they don't exactly work, you know, they're in shape, you know, enough, but you looking at them, they may not be like the most like jacked, you know, freedom fighting looking dude.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, cool. And then they get down, you're like, how the fuck, what are you doing? They like hop up through a window. You're like, how did you get through that window? Or they just like scale a wall, you know, and throw a leg over. You're like, bud, where did that come from? Yeah, we got some of those.
Genetics.
Yeah, dude.
Mutant genetics.
There you go. So doing this, I'm just gonna demonstrate it live because it's a pretty simple concept, right? But
Muzzle sights, eyes.
muzzle, sights, eyes, man. That's really all it is. And I think if you remember that, it applies to a lot of stuff,
Okay.
you know? So just getting down, I'm kind of do it from 1 knee down here, right? I'm just gonna use that middle steel. So as I come up, I present muzzle, sights, eyes up over the top, put it back on safe and come right back down. That's really all that is, you know what I mean? But I'm just coming up instead of versus this. People pop up and then they go like this and then they shoot. You know what I mean? I don't want to pop up and then bring the gun after it. Just prep the gun so it's ready to go when you want and it's close to the target, then I can shoot it.
At what point are you bringing it off safety on the coming up?
Once I see what I need to see, I put it on fire as I present the gun that last little bit to my eyes.
Okay.
So once I decide to move the gun to my eye line, that's when I'm putting it on fire.
Okay. And either knee now.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. 2 feet, 1 knee. I generally like the side that the gun's on to be down, just because then it's easier to draw the gun. You know what I mean?
Isn't it the same in judo? You take the left knee first because like that's where their swords were.
I think so. Yeah. Now that you
Pretty
mention
cool.
it, I think I've heard that.
Isn't it?
Yeah. All right, Gabe Basso.
Dead. Right, Tom?
Tom's
What do they do
laughing.
in judo,
Tom's
Tom?
laughing so hard the camera's shaking.
Okay.
All right. You good?
Okay. So whenever?
Yeah, go ahead. Muzzle, sights, eyes over the top.
And then in the reverse order? Or do you
Yeah, then just put it on safe and come back down, right?
Okay.
So as you do that, what you do is you present up, see with your eyes first, and then you still have to move the gun to your eyes a little bit, right? So I'm not looking through the sight when I come over the top. I'm looking past the gun and over it, but the gun's prepped up here so I can still see what I need to see. You know what I mean?
see. Okay.
Kind of
So
like
you're
what you were
almost-
talking about. We know where the targets are versus not knowing. You know what I mean?
So I just knew. I did
just
it
knew.
anticipatory. Okay, so from here, you're basically, it's almost muzzle, sights, eyes, and then you're bringing the sights to where you want to shoot. Okay.
There you go.
As opposed to like living in them on your,
Yes.
I see.
Thank you.
okay. 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 Feel good.
Good. Looks fine. Yeah. Simple enough, right?
Yeah.
Holster up. So that's kind of
That
our
makes sense.
kind of basics on just this stuff, and everything kind of works off of this, right? Doesn't matter if I'm behind a vehicle. You know, there's some other positions you can do around vehicles. Doesn't matter if it's that. Doesn't matter if it's just some kind of cover or low wall or whatever, or it's how you just want to take a knee around, you know, like a high wall, right? Like a corner of a building. It doesn't matter. The positions are the same. It's just where you put them. You know what I mean?
You should never not know how to use cover from now on.
Yes.
Well, until the director tells me,
Yeah.
hey, don't do muzzle sights eyes, we want to see your head.
Head first.
And then I say, okay,
Sounds good.
okay, I guess I'll do that.
So there is a lot of that stuff, right? Like, you
Yeah,
try
I
and put
mean-
it in there, but like they have the shot, what they want to see.
Like we're saying, and like we said earlier, your priority is to make a movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, the military, the police departments, you know, those, what y'all do relative to the world's population is like small percentage. And the layman doesn't know what, you know, muzzle sights eyes. They don't know this stuff. And so they're watching the movie like, why can't I see Chris Hemsworth's face? You know, because they want to see that face.
Who doesn't?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, probably his brother. His brother's probably
yeah.
sick of it.
Yeah, his
He's
brother
like,
probably is.
I get
Both
it,
of them.
you know?
Liam and Scott is the other one.
I don't know.
Okay. He was in Westworld. The third brother, nobody knows.
But yeah, I think it gets a bit like the balance becomes how much can you learn and be. I'll say it like this: in the same way that you said, you know, guys that know enough and practice enough to then be able to strip away what's useful in that moment in that application. I think the same should be there for actors. Know as much as you can about the thing, and then walk back what's acceptable for the camera, as opposed to the reverse, which is what's acceptable for camera comes first, screw the reality of it, and what I should learn and put time in learning, I don't need to know that. We're making a movie. It should be the opposite. It should be you do what's realistic in a situation, and then the director says, that didn't look great, do it like this, and then you run that through the computer program of the filter of what's reality, and then what you end up with is what hopefully people see.
So you try and balance what he's saying with.
Yeah,
that
with
makes
what
sense.
would happen.
Cool.
I feel like that's a good standard for actors, but
Fair enough.
I'm not setting standard. I'm not a tyrant, unfortunately. So, you said these weighed 300 pounds?
290-ish, almost.
That's about right.
All right, Gabe. So, question for you. So, we see this a lot. Guys will be, you know, shooting back here or whatever. I'm going to hold my gun for this, but they'll be shooting back here or whatever, and then they turn their back completely over here to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had mentioned they do that for a reason. There's like shots and stuff. Why is
Yeah,
that?
there can be a reason.
Can be. Okay.
Mostly, it's kind of funny how you were saying some terrorist groups use film how to learn how to do things. I think sometimes like actors just watch other movies and they're like, oh, they did it there, so that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But typically, it's if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and they want to see my face, and you're the camera, this is not a very dynamic shot.
Yeah.
Now, when we reverse it, you can see me see that guy. But if they want to see, you know, me react to this, typically it's turn to camera. Tom was saying, if this is an example of what we were saying earlier, of you could split the difference and sort of be here, you know, and like maybe they could see the bad guy, see you, see your face, maybe he shoots and you react or do something that turns you a little to camera briefly. But it's all about balancing that, you know, the camera wants to see you.
Okay.
And you know, want to do the right thing.
Yeah, because technically there's a big wall here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the behind, they can't get the camera on the other side of that wall
To see
shoot
through the
through.
wall. And that now, I think they did it for The Raid, that
Such a
Indonesian
good movie.
Great movie. But they
Such a good
built
movie.
those sets, dude. If you watch the behind the scenes, the set is moving with camera. But on camera, they did it in Lord of the Rings too, the forced perspective things, where it looks like what you're seeing, you know, you're lying to the audience visually, where Frodo is actually sitting 3 feet behind, you know, Ian McKellen, but it looks like they're right next to each other.
Okay.
So it's, you know, Frodo looks smaller. Well, for this, if they wanted to and they had the time, and they wanted me here, they could build a world where as Tom moves around, this set like moves with the camera and then shows me here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you're building it for that shot, but you need the shot in mind in order to build the set.
So it's almost because they're limited by the location and the environment. They
Yeah.
kind of got to do these things to get those shots they want.
Yeah, like if you're in a hotel, they're not going to let you like drill a hole in the drywall, you know, to get a cool shot. It's like,
True.
but if you're building that set and you know that's a shot you want, you can build the set that way.
Okay.
And
That
you know,
makes
to
sense.
put a camera there.
Yeah, because we always see that stuff. It's like, why is this guy just, you know, turn around and put, like the old Lethal Weapon thing is kind of
Yeah.
what we think of it as. You know, the Mel Gibson turns around or Danny Glover or whatever. But, I mean, if something happens, you know, you're shooting, doing your thing, you're going to get back this way and then either find something new, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or reload your gun, get your gun back up, and then
But see, all that cool action, let's say you could reload your gun in real life and the camera's here.
But then they miss all that, right? As it
Yeah,
comes out.
I'd be behind you for that. So I would say as a director, hey, when you spin back around to reload or tac mag or whatever, just open up this way a little bit and I can come around and find you here.
Okay. So instead of doing that, it'd be here, reload. It's
And the
maybe
camera
like
would come around
turn like
here.
this a little bit more,
Yeah, exactly.
and then get that, and then come back around into.
And there's balance. You know, the director might say, no, I want you all the way around. And it's sort of like pick your battles, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about this real quick. Like a lot of times we see people like taking corners and stuff. They just kind of jump out and they're like, you know, come out to it.
Nice
It's
roar,
like-
dude. That's battle cry.
Thank you.
Battle troll?
Ah.
Is that the nickname?
Was
Battle
that good?
troll, dude. That
Is
was
that
good.
better? So as we do that, say like you're coming in, we know we need to kind of take this one step at a time, because if you don't know, you know, you keep going by the thing like you don't know where the targets are at, right? Like we hear that a lot. It's like, yeah, but like you're gonna find out real quick, so just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta balance speed and security. You know what I'm saying? So we see a lot of the stuff too is when people are overly cautious about it and they do this thing or they start blading off here and holding the gun, right? So gun is clear. Right, hammer down, right? They see this and they kind of start like doing this and they kind of creep and they look through their sights, right? And
That
they're
is
kind of like
creepy.
looking around like this. And it's kind of like an old school police way to do it. They used to actually teach that stuff, you know, but it's like this in real tight here and looking up in the sights tight and moving around. It's like, hey man, what we'd like to see a little bit more is that does my footwork have to be perfect? No, but I generally want this to open up gradually to me so it's nice and smooth. So as I'm coming around, if I'm just moving, once I see what I need to see, then bring the gun up, boom, boom, come back down, and then muzzle, sights, eyes that as I work my way around, bring the gun back up and engage. And kind of the biggest thing is guys stay in their sights the whole time, you know?
Okay.
You ever seen that? Like guys are just like this the whole time as they're going anywhere, working all the way around. Terrible. You know what I mean? Because, well, one reason for us, what do you do every time you put your red dot or your sights on a target at the range?
Shoot.
Shoot it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're just looking through your sights and see a red dot and if somebody appears in that sight, you're probably pretty likely
Your
to
muscle
shoot
memory.
and not, you know, do a target identification, right? Or make sure you shoot somebody you didn't mean to.
So
You know
would
what I
that
mean?
be that never put your sights on something you don't intend to destroy?
Yeah, there you go. One of the 4 firearm safety rules right there.
So
One of the
that's
first
pretty
things.
basic.
It's pretty basic shit. So instead, what we tell people is, the other part is if you're looking through your sights, especially this sight here, you're only gonna see what's in that housing. Most people, you're not gonna notice what's going outside. And people will be like, yeah, I'll shoot. No, you don't. Like, but I can't. No, you're not gonna fucking see shit, right? Because at that point, you're in like what's called narrow focus, right? Or like tunnel vision. Another way to think of it.
Dude, that reminds me of those videos. You ever see that basketball video where they're like follow the ball?
And the
count how many
gorilla, yeah, dude walks. It's the
Yeah.
same thing, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. I use that analogy before. It's the same damn thing. They're like, did you see the gorilla? You're like, no. Then you look for the
Yeah.
gorilla. And you're like, you see the dude in the tutu, and you're like,
And
what?
he just like skips in and goes.
Yeah, like it walks away.
Okay.
You're like, didn't see any of it. Same thing, man. So the other part is, if my gun's up here and I'm looking through these sights, guess what I'm gonna miss? Anything low on the ground. You know what I mean? So like
Serpents.
people kneeling.
Vipers.
Yeah, vipers, snakes.
Spiders.
Yeah, all that stuff. Satan, all that. So
Demons. Goblins.
it's turning into supernatural.
Dude,
that
ghouls.
show.
You might miss a ghoul.
There you go. So you're gonna miss anybody kneeling behind furniture, getting down low, things like that. So a little rule of thumb is, I've heard some guys say, and I like it too, is that see where the floor meets the wall. You know what I mean? But a good place to have your gun and just down is at that chest area right? Just bringing the gun down to that chest area. So when you're moving around, once you see what you need to see, bring the gun up, and then I can take my shots from there.
And the closer you are to that target will, like you're saying, I want to see all of this.
Yeah.
That would determine, let's say if we're here this close, I'd be down here.
Potentially, yeah, because I want to see if I'm standing, I want to be able to see the waistband.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and if I'm like this,
I need to see waist up, you know, because if my hands are down, I can identify what's in the hands. We can do target identification, snapshot, hands threat action, go through that process.
And the further back I go, the
you can
higher
probably
up
cheat
this
a little
can
bit
be.
more. Yeah, but
Okay.
if that person's there. But, I mean, again, you don't know. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So just general rule of thumb, keep the gun down at that chest level. With a rifle, we'll say bring the gun down so you can turn your chin over the buttstock, and that's a good rule of thumb too.
Okay.
Cool. But
Are your
gas
sights
breaks.
moving with your eyes all the time? Or is there like sort of roughly the same when you're in that low ready-ish position and you're looking around and you're following and you're not living in your sights, is that gun sort of moving with you? Or is it like you're not a tank turret?
Yeah, you're not a tank turret, you're not a robot, but generally speaking, the gun's out in front of me, framed up in the middle. So as soon as I see what I need to do, all I got to do is bring it straight up.
Okay.
But if I see something off, right, I'm going to move that eyes lead, gun follows. Is it
Okay.
an easy way to think, right? Like, but it's generally out in front of me, in front of my chest. When I see what I need to see, I'll drive the gun straight up on the target. One thing to think about too is when you're moving, gas, right? If my gun's down, I can move. Once I see what I need, brakes. Come up, take my shots, bring it back down, and then continue our movement, bring it back up, and engage. So if I'm looking through my sights, that's the brakes where I'm going to stop, engage my target, and then I'll bring the gun back down and continue clearing around whatever I'm doing or whatever it may be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm shooting on the move, that's a different story. But when you're using cover like this, if you're going to use cover and kind of pie things off, then that's a good way to think about it.
Okay.
Cool. Let's demo this and let's just kind of play around with it a little bit.
This isn't a game.
This is life or death, Gabe.
Look, dude.
This will get you killed in the streets.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like, someone asked me if I was afraid of nuclear death. You know, like, oh, a bomb hits.
Uh-huh.
It's like, no, imagine you're at the park. You see, like, a flash in the distance.
And just
And then you're gone.
Yeah.
Versus, like, you're walking around, you get stabbed in the street. You're dying on the ground and, like, piss and beer.
Nuclear is the
cigarette
best way to go.
butts, and you're just like, this is my life now. I'm going to die here.
Yep.
No thanks. Did you get that?
All I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here about this barrel. Just kind of work my way up at an angle. Just kind of work around a little bit, right?
Okay.
We don't have to be choppy. You know, just you can kind of cross over step and keep your feet smooth as you work around. But once you see what you need to see, just stop, shoot it, and keep moving. And
Is this
generally
guy,
speaking,
am I shooting this guy?
yeah, we're going to shoot the first one.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I'm going to try and get my gun, I'm going to try and notice the targets in this gap right here and just kind of stay about, 4 to 6 inches off my cover. That's where I'm going to be looking, and that's generally where we want to try and engage the targets. Now, it might be a little bit out of there, but it's not going to be too bad. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you're always sort of moving and looking in that 6-inch.
Yeah, right off the edge of that. So when I see what I need to see, I can engage it, work around. As soon
Okay.
as I see to engage it, boom, and shoot it.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so starting here, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move up. That's all that is, right? Just nice and easy.
Okay.
So you kind of notice when you come up, starting here, I like to kind of come in here, kind of post out with that leg, boom, kind of move off that, and I can kind of push that knee out a little bit to kind of lean a hair if I feel like I want to. That's all that is.
So it's the same stability principle as.
Just on 2 feet. Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Face down range, load and make ready.
Okay. So starting here, would I move up? You
Yeah,
want? Okay.
like that. Kind of that
Okay.
low ready position.
Okay.
Go ahead, on you.
So that, in that instance, did I come? Hold on. Aside from the video aside. Or I guess it could be in the video. When you come up, I remember with this, you're running up and you're sort of in that staged position.
Yeah.
Or like, when I ran up, I was sort of already out there to mitigate how much I have to like creep out with my leg. Because I'm on 2 feet now, and I can move, and I'm less fixed to a position, would I start sort of behind the cover and then like gradually work my way out?
I see what you mean. Honestly, I would, oh, where's that stick at? You threw my damn stick.
It wasn't a stick, it was a javelin. Stick.
All right, check this out. Let's say that's 90 degrees. That's 90 degrees off your cover, right?
Yep.
Well, I can either get over here and then work my way around slowly, or I just got torn up by some thorns right there, bud. Or as you're moving up to it, you can kind of start rounding that off, right? So if I just kind of start working my way around this way, I can clear a lot of that from the outside. And that's kind of what people mean by distance and angles.
Okay.
I'm using this angle to my advantage. Like, why would I go up there and then slowly pile this stuff?
Yeah.
When I can kind of do it on the way to my position.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So as I'm coming up here, see that? I can be like, pop, pop, hit that sucker, come in, and then get the last one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're already sort of...
Yeah, you want me to do it real quick?
It makes sense.
Okay.
I feel like
All right.
if I pick it up, then yeah, you can show me what I did wrong.
Cool.
Okay. Whenever?
On you.
Okay. Back on safe?
I just bring the gun down, put it on safe, yep. Good.
And then that like 3-step process of muzzle sights, eyes, on safe, and searching that 4 to 6 inch thing, even though I know the targets are there, it's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff. You pick it up quick, you know what I mean? It kind of comes second nature, but there's a lot of shit to think about at first.
Yeah, I'm trying to like not screw up the processes, you know?
Yeah. So for this, if you want to do it again, just do it here. But notice once you get to this point, kind of stay off that 90 and kind of see what you can see from here versus continue to walk over the stick.
Oh, you're playing that like it's a wall or something?
Yeah, so like I like using these sticks. Like a lot of guys use them in competitions, but it's just like a marker to say, hey man, that's 90 degrees off your cover. Like once I come here, I can kind of lean out and see what I need to see, you know what I mean? And cover that, and then from there you can keep moving, but just go to that point and stop.
I'm not good at imagining things, man.
Really?
That is a javelin though, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. And then one thing I would say is, you notice when you kind of come up here and you see that target, you see a target, then you kind of float out this way in front of it.
Yeah.
Still kind of stay back that little bit so you can engage it from back here.
Okay.
And that's going to be utilizing that a little bit to more to your advantage. I'll show you real quick. Let me do it. So let's see if Tom can see what I'm talking about, right? So if I'm starting off here and I'm coming around, once I come up and I see that little bit of a lean, like here I can't see it, here I can, is just enough, right?
Okay.
And then I come back down, I'm gonna work my way around. Then come back down. Cool?
Okay.
Do that one more time, because I fucking missed like an idiot.
It's okay.
I know, you're rubbing
just
off
not
on
at
me.
the night agent level yet.
I know I'm not. I need some training for project.
I'll put in a good word
What's
to
it
the
called?
president
Project?
for you.
What's
Don't worry
it?
about it.
It's classified.
Redacted.
We're not gonna find out, what is it, January? Season
Project
2 comes out?
redacted.
When's season 2 come out? January?
Oh, we can't say that yet.
Winter 2025?
Winter 2025.
Which is January.
Early 2025.
Okay. Early winter.
I'll say that.
Not
Season
late
2
winter.
comes out early 2025.
All right. All right, so let's do that again. So same thing, I'm gonna move up. Once I kind of see what I need to see, and bring it back down, and get here, post up. I'm just gonna use that little bit of a lean, right? And use that stick as a marker to force me to lean a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm kind of loading once I get in, I'm kind of loading my weight forward on that lead leg. I'm kind of pushing out a hair.
There.
Yeah.
Bob.
There you go.
Okay. It's a lot more intuitive than you'd think. You know? Like I think people overthink it. But it is also you have to think.
Yeah.
But it's also, like once you do it right, you're like, oh, that felt way easier than what I was doing. You know?
Yeah.
Something weird.
I'll agree with that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Safe. You know what's weird about that? Strange feeling. It's like your feet start moving, like you overthink walking,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
It's like all of a sudden you're like, oh, walk to there, and you do it, and then you lean. That felt good. And then you do it with a gun, and you overthink it.
Because you don't have your arms just swinging normally. You're
Yeah.
holding this thing in front of you like that, so then it feels awkward.
I came off safe preemptively there because I knew the target was coming.
Benefits of being an actor.
Whatever. I'll do it one more time.
So the other thing is too, if you're coming here and if you see something, it's like, dude, just shoot it. You know what I mean? Like, if I come up from here and I'm moving up and I see something, I'm probably gonna pop, pop, pop. I might slow roll that and shoot it, and then start pieing back down and finish what I need to do.
Okay.
But it's always a balance, right? Like, you can what if any situation death. You know what I mean? So I would have done this and I would have done that.
Yeah.
It's like, as long as you're shooting good and you're utilizing principles to your advantage, like that's kind of some of the best you can hope for.
Okay.
So not hope for, but we prepare for. You know what I mean? Like we do this stuff so that we win.
Okay.
Do it one more time?
Yeah. So don't overthink it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
Good.
The first one felt way better.
Yeah.
I'll do it one more time. It is like, it's weird. The more I do it, I guess that's the repetition thing.
Yeah.
Is that true? The more you do something, the easier it is?
No, I think it's the opposite.
Do it once and you're
I
good
read it
for
in a
life.
book. I saw it on Facebook. It was on
Okay.
Instagram.
They said in a TikTok reel. You know what? I overthought that. I came up safe way too soon. Did you see that?
A little bit.
Fucking. What is
You're doing
happening,
great.
dude?
You're doing
What is
great.
happening?
Don't worry, we'll edit all this to make
No,
it
no,
look
no.
good.
It's like, it's good to have in there. The safe thing is still tripping me out, dude.
The what?
The safe?
It takes a minute. Honestly, man, it's the second day shooting a gun like this. It'll
Because the
just
Glock,
a little bit of
it's
practice
like
in dry
something,
fire, you'll get so used to it, you won't even think of it. It's kind of like an AR, you know, like on your rifle. Like bring that sucker up, put it on safe and fire. You won't even think about it after a while.
Okay.
So, but how you liking that gun?
Feels great, man.
Does it?
Yeah.
Shoot nice?
It does. It does. It feels. The P was great. Shooting the P yesterday was great. But yeah, you can tell there's just something else happening. You know, there's less inputs, yet less. There's more wiggle room for user error on recoil management stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you can feel it in your hand. Be like, I got it. You know,
Yeah, fair
don't worry
enough.
about it. You screwed up, but I'll compensate for your inadequacies.
That's why it costs that much money.
Yeah, 2 shots.
Yep, 2 rounds.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
Ah, that was a shitty draw.
That was.
I'll do that again. What was that?
I said shooter ready, not shooter. Are you ready to suck?
What time was it?
What was the time?
1-6.
That was terrible. Do it again.
Shooter ready.
Yes. You fucking.
Still going, man.
I bet it is. All right,
Okay, here we go. Shooter ready?
Yep.
Stand by. 1-4.
110 first shot. All right. I'll stick with that.
That was fast.
That should be around like 130.
That's fast, dude.
It's all right. It's respectable.
No,
It's
I mean
not
like
super fast.
from the time you hear it to doing that, 2 shots in 1.3 seconds.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
It's all right. There's faster. I should be a little bit quicker than that, but let's go.
I could do the mind meld on
You're
it.
going to do great. All right. Are you ready?
No.
Of course not.
Okay.
Stand by.
Oh, dude, I lost the sight again. Okay.
You're good. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Nice, dude. That was a 137 first shot, 176 total.
Okay.
Good, man. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Nope. Terrible draw.
So the hardest part, be quick, not in a hurry, you know?
Yeah.
The hardest part is like, we're filming you. We're putting this on the internet.
No,
we're
I
running
just
a
like-
timer. And so you want to go a little bit quicker, you know what I mean? It messes it
What's
up.
screwed up is like with dry fire, you're so relaxed because you're not having to like, obviously
Yeah.
there's things on the wall that you're shooting at and whatever.
Right.
But you're not like secure position of your hand, secure grip because you're not actually doing any recoil
The
management.
recoil's not actually happening, so you tend to...
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
got
just like, oh shit, pop, pop.
Yep.
With this, it's like, okay, do I have a secure grip first?
Mm.
And because it's not muscle memory yet,
Yeah.
like with an actual gun, because this is the probably 3rd time in a year I've shot a pistol. It's like,
Yeah. You're doing pretty good for the 3rd time shooting a pistol, so...
okay, here we go.
All right. Are you ready? Stand by.
Yes.
That was good, man. So that was a 148 with a 4-1 split. So 148 first shot, 189 total.
I got
The
it.
one before it was a 137 first shot, 176 total.
Okay. I get it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let me get to character real quick.
Yeah, get in your role, method actor.
The nation's on the line.
The phone's gonna ring.
Okay.
Project Osprey.
Go for it.
Stand by. Now you're gripping the shit out of that gun. Just,
What was that? What
you
happened?
didn't put the gun on fire.
Oh.
Oh, your grip was a little high. The safety
That was over
with
the
your
hand?
that's got to be depressed for the gun to fire. That's all it was.
You suck.
Yeah.
You'll
That's
never
the
be
grip
anything.
safety.
It's depressed now.
Grips.
Your
Yeah,
father
counseling.
was a better gun than you.
Ouch, dude. Stand by.
I didn't even see my sight. Let me try that again.
Cool. Stand by.
Why am I losing my sight? Like I can't even.
Stand by. Good. That was a good one. 147 and 174 total. Nice, dude. Well, fair enough.
Let me do this again.
You want to go again? We're
Yeah.
going to be here for a while.
I gotta keep doing it.
All right.
I gotta. Let me spend 1 magazine on this.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Stand by. Same thing. Little high on the. Every time I see your hand, see that pressure up above this?
Yeah.
I can tell you're not pushing that grip safety down, so get below it just a little bit more. Make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Dude, I'm. That red dot, like I think it's there, and then it's like.
Is it high?
It depends, but that's why I'm saying my grip is inconsistent.
Okay.
So then when I don't see it, I'm like, I don't know where it is.
Put
I
a
gotta
focus
search
on
for
that
it.
left hand, and really when that gun comes out, I want you to really feel that left palm on the frame of the gun.
Okay.
Set your wrist in that position when you draw, and then feel that left palm.
Okay.
Good. Stand by.
Did it again.
Stand by.
Dude.
Don't go for speed. Go for making everything good. Okay. So just do it no timer for a minute.
Okay.
Look at that. Do it again. Good. That's way better. That timer's getting you, bud.
It's the
pressure. You can't handle the pressure.
I think I can handle it. It's just more, I'm trying not to I'm trying to do everything right, and then I'm overthinking it because I don't trust that I've been doing thousands of reps of dry fire.
And when we just said no timer, you just did it fine, you know what I mean?
I'll get one more magazine and then I'll head out of here.
Stand by.
I wonder whose reaction times are faster. The F1 drivers or like...
Oh, that was good.
What was that?
9-7 draw, 117 total.
Oh shit, dude. That's fast.
It's okay.
No, that's, dude,
It's okay.
come on. That's
It's
fast.
okay.
That's fast. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we?
Here, I'm gonna give you this.
Why?
Sometimes it helps. This is on delay. Just hit the green button. You got 2.5 to 3.5 seconds till it goes off. About 2.5 seconds. So that
And
way
then
you can
what?
run it on your own.
Press go again?
Yeah, just clip it on your belt right there in front. Your pants. Yeah, just hit the green button. Say stand by as you hit the green button, then wait for it. That'll take out some of the me pushing the button thing. You know what I mean? The anticipation of it.
So just press the button.
Yep.
Okay. Stand by?
Yeah.
Stand by.
What was that one?
1-6.
Good. You're getting better.
Okay, ready? Green button again?
Yeah.
Stand by. Still missing my sight. That was 1-4. Stand by. That wasn't even.
So did you
though.
notice when you brought the gun up that time? Was the sight a little bit high? Your shots are high.
Yeah.
Your gun came up and then it like dropped in. You're breaking the shots as the front's still dropping.
Okay.
So remember when you get the gun out, right? As you bring the gun up, keep the gun flat as you present straight forwards versus kind of coming here, right? That kind of wave
Okay.
down. So as you come up and your hands come together, keep the gun flat and try and push it straight out. So when I say flat, I mean if the slide's like flat to the ground, kind
Yeah.
of parallel, as I press out, the dot will be right where I want.
Okay.
And so with
So
this,
I'm dropping it.
point your knuckles, kind of take this thumb and kind of point your thumb at the target, and that'll help.
Okay.
I like to point the thumbs. Now with a Glock, I tend to point like this. With these guns, I kind of point my pad of my finger,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
It does make sense. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Stand by. One 7 with a 1-3 first shot.
Good.
Stand by. Did that f***ing hand thing again. Stand by. One, 2, first shot. That was a miss, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but where was your shot at when you missed?
Top right. Like
Top
over
right?
to the
Okay. So keep the slide a little bit flatter as you
Okay.
present it, so the dot's not high when you break that shot.
Stand by.
Good. What was that? 130?
1, 2, 1.2.
1.2 first shot? That's better. So now you know what you got to do to get the shot there.
Just be better.
Oh, that's part of it, yeah.
Nope. It's that initial grab of the gun that's like 1.2, 1.4 total.
Feel that, see that callous knuckle right there?
Yeah.
That knuckle and this webbing happen at the same time. That makes sense?
That was the best one though.
Good.
And it's because I fucked up and I wasn't anticipating the beep. So that knuckle on this, on the middle finger?
Yep.
Okay. Stand
Driving under the trigger guard, that's like my cue. When I feel that knuckle hit under the trigger guard, it's a go. That means get out of the holster.
by. Okay.
It's good enough, let's go.
Stand by.
Interesting.
That sucked. Ass.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Good, that was good. What was that, a 120, 125?
1.1 first, 1.3 total.
Nice, dude. Now you're getting down. So it's just those little
Felt
cues,
better.
man.
Yeah.
So, good. All right, man, well, that's it. So, end of day 2, video 2. Yeah, appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you, Drew.
Absolutely. And thanks to Dirty Civilian, our friends, for linking us up and doing all that. Hopefully you can get out with them and shoot a video with them too. They're
Hell
good
yeah.
friends of ours.
Drew and Josh,
Miss you guys.
you have my number.
Yeah,
The night agent line.
fair enough. Did you have your time?
I did. Yeah. And it's always a good time when you learn things. You know, I don't like having a good time for the sake of having a good time, because I always leave feeling like I've wasted my time.
Yeah.
But here, you know, we get the jokes in,
Oh, yeah.
we have a good time, and I learned
We got a lot of redacted stuff too.
a ton of redacted things for security purposes,
Absolutely.
security clearance purposes.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing too what you talked about. You mentioned, you know, hey, the director needs to do this, the director needs to do that, you
Yep.
know, and it's always an interesting thing. So I hope you guys understand a little bit more. Like at the end of the day, it's a story, dude, right? But it's not a documentary. You said that. It's not like some movies are based on the truth. You know what I mean? This is a story and everything else.
And I would say that would be the inverse of what we're talking about, where the based on the true story, you guys can go nuts with that.
Yeah.
Because that's Hollywood embellishing something that happened versus we came up with the thing and then walked it back to reality and asked you guys for the, what do they call it? The suspension of disbelief. Like, go in there with an open mind. It's a movie. Yeah, there could be things that, you know, actors could work on, like hold the damn gun right. But like, the time that I agree completely with you guys is when it's a real event, you know, guys that were there,
Yeah.
or, you know, guys that were close by when it happened, and you're watching it like, this is nonsense. I don't care that this guy can hold his gun right. Screw this movie.
Yeah.
I would agree with you there.
There's some of it out there. There is.
I bet,
So,
yeah.
It's it can be a little frustrating, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But anyway, appreciate it. You guys check them out. Season 2 of Night Agent is coming up winter 2025, early winter, the beginning of the year 2025.
Early 2025.
There
For
you
some
go.
reason, Netflix phrased it
Winter.
winter of 2025.
I thought it was coming out next December.
That's what I thought when they let me know.
Yeah.
And I was like, why not say early 2025? Whatever. Early 2025.
So a couple things for you if we're doing a gear breakdown. What other stuff do you have going on? You have, obviously, you're an actor, do that stuff. Is there anything else you mentioned or social media or anything like that?
Yeah, but it's all like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I draw a lot. There's drawing stuff. I mean, no, I'm an actor, you know.
Okay, go to his Instagram, check him out, follow him there.
I
Other than
lived
that,
in my garage.
yeah. Well, cool, man. Let's do our gear breakdown and we'll get up out of here. So, guys, just roll right into it real quick. So, again, we're shooting staccatos. I'm shooting staccato P with a loophole DP Pro on top. Had this one for a little bit. Blade Tech holster. This is the Vanish line, I think, with their drop. And they're cannibal. Everything here is cannibal. So you can just turn it however you want and locks in place. Same with the mag pouches. Really good setup. Blade Tech, Zach, thank you at Blade Tech. And same stuff over here. He's running the exact same stuff. He's got the black Wojtek belt. Pick up one of those. We got the link
That
down
was you
below.
guys.
Yeah, that's
That's
our
your
belt.
stuff.
Yeah. Real quick, kind of hold your gun out and show them the XC. So he's shooting the Staccato XC here. It's got the new Staple grips, loophole DP Pro on top, and then it's obviously got the built-in compensator in there. So pretty shooty little pistol. It's a lot of fun. Other than that, man, that's pretty much it.
Vertx
Loophole
pants?
sunglasses, Vertx pants.
Vertex pants, you can't
Delta
see 'em.
stretch. Delta stretch. They stretched real good when I was kneeling too.
I saw that.
Yeah.
dude.
they got-
I wasn't going to say anything,
But it was impressive.
but there should be a big Vertex sponsorship that pops up.
Yeah, maybe stitched across the butt, you know?
I
It's
think
like
so.
Juicy.
Like a
It says
NASCAR
Vertex.
uniform.
I like it.
Vertex.
Dig it. Cool, man. Well, that's all I got. So, appreciate you.
And that's all there is.
Take 2, 3. Go ahead.
Stand by. Nice.
It wasn't on the buzzer. Oh, where's that stick at? You threw my damn stick.
It wasn't a stick, it was a javelin. Stick.